taking one large taro and peeling it with a knife and then slicing it into thin pieces. Next, I covered a 9x9-inch pan and put tinfoil and banana leaf over it, although the banana leaf is optional. I then put a thin layer of taro and then a thin layer of sliced papaya. Pawpaw is actually traditionally used for this recipe, but they don't sell them in Canada, so I just used papaya. After that, I kept layering them and had around 3 layers in total. Finally, I poured a can of coconut cream all over it. I then wrapped it up securely and placed it in an oven that I set for 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. Overall, this was the final result. Typically, I'm not a big fan of papaya. It's not my favorite fruit, but with the coconut cream, this tasted amazing, and I would definitely make this again. 10 out of 10. I began by sauteing onion and minced garlic for a few minutes and then added 1 cup of rice that I cooked and a whole can of black beans with some liquid from the can. I then added a few tablespoons of salsa Lizano that I made last night and mixed it all together. At the end, this was the final result. I served it with an avocado and a fried egg. I topped it off with some cilantro after, and overall it tasted amazing. I would definitely make this again. By combining 1 cup of sugar, 4 eggs, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla and mixing that for around 30 seconds. I then added 1 cup of flour and sifted half of it. I folded that in and then sifted the other half and also added 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I folded that in again and added about half a cup of melted butter and folded that one more time. I poured it in a lined 9x9-inch pan and baked that for around 30 minutes. Once the cake was cooled, I cut off any edges and then leveled the top and then cut them into even-sized cubes. To make the chocolate sauce, I whisked together melted butter and milk. I then added cocoa powder and whisked that again and then added some sifted icing sugar. Once that was all combined, I poured it in a smaller bowl and then added some shredded coconut in another bowl. I started off evenly dipping my cake in the chocolate and then the coconut. I used a fork here because it was getting really messy. I then repeated the steps, and this was the final result. Every family makes theirs slightly different, but this is the method I chose. Overall, these tasted amazing. I started off by patting my chicken dry. I then added some peanut oil to a pan and then browned my chicken for around 4 minutes per side. I then removed the chicken and sauteed 1 chopped onion for 5 minutes and then added some minced garlic. After a minute, I added some tomato paste, some tomato sauce, although you can also use diced tomato, grated ginger, red chili flakes, salt, and around 1 cup of water. I re-added my chicken and brought that to a boil and then simmered it on low heat for 20 minutes. I added more water for the cooking process so it wouldn't dry out. Next, I added peanut butter and some tomato broth and mixed that together until it was well combined. I put it back in the pot and cooked it for around 5 to 10 more minutes. This was the final result. I just served it over some rice, but you can also have it with fried plantain. Overall, this was so delicious and I would highly recommend trying this.